Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I want to give you some guidance for the month of February. In February, you're entering a new reality where everything will start to go your way. You had enough of lessons. Do you feel that right now? You had enough of lessons for you to move on. You did the work. You overcame so much. You believed. And even when it was hard for you, you never gave up. You never gave up. You pushed through. You pushed through it all. Is that you? You pushed through it all. And now I want to remind you that everything is preparing for you to turn on or to turn for the better. February will be filled with love, my friend. I want you to open your heart and to say to yourself, those are not just words, this should be your mantra. February will be filled with love for me. And love, not just relationships, not just expecting love from others, but giving love to yourself, waking up, loving yourself, waking up, falling in love with yourself. Why? Because you deserve it. Why? When you love yourself, you give yourself the best possible food. When you love yourself, you give yourself the best possible workout. When you love yourself, you go outside into the nature and you love the walk in nature. You love walking in nature. You love enjoying yourself in nature. You love being outside because that's what you deserve. You deserve this fresh flow of oxygen. You deserve that. You're worthy of that. You need that, right? That's love. Love is not just saying some nice words to yourself. Love is doing nice things to yourself. So that's how you become needless. You don't need much, but you need to be with yourself. You need to be there for yourself. That's how you become needless. And this is a really, really powerful frequency you tap in when you recognize, well, I don't need anything because I can provide to myself anything. I don't need anything because I can provide to myself anything. I can generate whatever I choose. So I don't chase things anymore. I always attract them. Know that February for you will be filled with wealth. And again, this is not just a word. This is not, oh, I'm waiting money to come. No, my friend, wealth is a state of being. Wealth is a state of mind. Wealth is a state of heart. Where wealth is coming from the richness of thoughts. Know that the only way to really free yourself is to free yourself through thinking. You free yourself through thinking. You recognize, well, the only thing that's really in my control is my mind. I want to think rich thoughts. If I want to experience more wealth in my life, I need to think wealthy thoughts. Then I need to back them up with wealthy action. Then I need to do some wealthy healing for myself. I need to recognize, well, when I feel poverty, it's a prison from my past. If I want to feel wealthy, I need to tap into my inner wealth. So sometimes I imagine for myself laying in a bed inside the house of gold just to feel the abundance present around me. That's how powerful our mind is when we tap into abundance, when we tap into wealth. So remind yourself, February. February usually is this month of inner transformation and often purification, preparation for the season that is ahead of us. So usually, if right now you're going through this white phase called in alchemy, which is the phase of purification where you're preparing yourself to crystallize, to become everything you've been learning until now, you really need to establish a very, very strong pillar of wealth for yourself. And a pillar of wealth firstly needs to be made out of certain mantras, certain thoughts that can always help you to get back in center. You need to know what is your nature. So what is your nature? Ask yourself in what kind of state you're thriving the most. This is something we've been talking in previous videos. So in what kind of state you're thriving the most? What is that state? Is this a state of happiness? Is this a state of joy? Is this a state of bliss? It doesn't mean you should be in this state all day long, but this is the state in which you're thriving the most. I want you to recognize what is the state that is your nature. Like, this is where I'm thriving. This is where I'm the most creative. This is where I'm the most loving to myself and to others. When I'm in this state, I'm the most kindest person I can be. When I am in this state, I'm the most productive person I can be. When I am in this state, I really take care of myself. I take care of others. I do the best I can, and I put work into play. So what is the state that is your nature? Because you've come here to be like that. All the poison that was projected onto you, now you need to purify it from your system, from your mind. When you don't see yourself as an abundant person, when you don't see yourself as a loving person, when you don't see yourself as someone who can succeed at anything, that mental poison and collective garbage is controlling you. And I want to remind you, well, if you're not in your wealth, if you're not in your abundance, if you're not in richness of your thoughts, the collective poison is controlling you. So I just want to remind you of that pure part of yourself. That's the part of yourself. That is your inner wisdom that should be guiding you and navigating you through life. And in February, your month will be filled with wealth. Remind yourself of that. Don't wait it to happen. Make it happen. You know that doors open when you knock. Doors open when you're willing to step through them. Today I wrote something that is very important for you to hear. Your tomorrow self will thank you for what you do today. Make sure to treat this day like a winner. There is nothing holding you back right now, my friend. Nothing is holding you back. You've got what it takes. You know that opportunities come to those who knock. Doors open for those willing to enter, and miracles appear for those who believe in them. But in the first place, know that you are a miracle and that everything is working in your favor right now. Every time, everything is working in your favor. So I always remind myself that, because sometimes it feels like life is challenging me. But then later in life, I recognize, well, life was actually preparing me. Life was preparing me to level up. Life was preparing me to evolve, because life is nothing but an evolution. So we should actually die many times in our lives until we reach the point of completion where we recognize, well, I'm a master teacher now. Now I'm a master leader, and my purpose is to share what I've learned with others. My purpose is to serve, and I want to walk in purpose because that's what is giving me a sense of fulfillment. So you need to recognize that life is a constant evolution. When you find yourself being down, it's because you're lacking purpose in your life. You're lacking a sense of mission in your life. So give yourself that. Nobody else will give. There will not be a time, when somebody will knock on your doors and will say, hey, I want you to do this. It will give you a sense of purpose. No, your heart is waiting you to wake up, your consciousness to wake up and give yourself a sense of responsibility, like, I want to serve today. That's how you wake up to the understanding that this month of February will be filled with purpose. This month for you will be filled with purpose because you will wake up to the understanding that you can set up a mission for yourself. Like, let's be a bit kinder to my neighbors. Let's be a bit more gentle with my weaknesses. Let's be a bit tougher on what's a challenge for me right now. Let's push through. Let's do something harder this month. Let's push through where I feel stuck. Let's push myself so I can unstuck myself. You know, sometimes when a river gets stuck, it needs what? It needs a storm. So there comes a stronger rush of water so it can purify the channel. Sometimes we need to push ourselves a little bit more so we can unblock ourselves, unstuck ourselves, and then constant reflection to see how to avoid these blocks in the future. You know, if you really have a certain goal for yourself or a certain vision for yourself, know that it will happen. To me, all the dreams that I had happened, but not when I wanted. Sometimes when we want something, we get too attached to that goal and then we see nothing else but a wish for that goal to come true, and then we miss all the wonders. Well, if you're in the phase of preparation, actually ask yourself what is being offered to you right now, what skills you're building right now, what you're learning right now, what kind of things you're nurturing right now within your character, what are the qualities you're really building at this point that will be needed in that future you that will be able to create the life that you're building right now. Know that February for you will be a month filled with purpose. February will be also a month filled with peace, my friend. So give a sense of peace to yourself. It means that you slow down more frequently and you ask yourself how my heart is doing, how my heart is handling everything that's going on in my life. How am I observing my life from the standpoint of my heart? Your heart is a center of your emotional intelligence. Your emotional intelligence can tell you when you feel your emotions and when you feel emotions of others. Your heart's intelligence can help you to have empathy for others, to have sympathy for others, to have kindness for others. But your heart will also tell you when you don't have capacity to be kind towards others, because sometimes you just need to be kind towards yourself. Sometimes you just have to set boundaries because you've been exposed to too much of what you can't handle anymore. Empty cup has nothing to give, nothing to share. So your heart will always remind you, hey, when you've given up too much because of the lack of boundaries, now you need to step away from the battles that aren't yours and give yourself what you need. And sometimes, especially right now when there are very intense energies and interesting energies that are shifting from day to day, like one day you feel completely inspired and then the other day you may feel completely depressed. What you need to do is you really need to listen to yourself, and you really need to pay attention to what can provide you a sense of peace. And know that peace doesn't come just from not doing anything. It comes from mental cleansing. It comes from emotional cultivation. Sometimes all you need is to listen to yourself. Then when you're listening to yourself, you may start to like yourself a little bit more, so you can become a friend to yourself. Like what good friends really do, what they do, what they are listening one another, they are there for one another, right? So listen to yourself, be there for yourself. You've heard this before, but so often you rather distract yourself. When you distract yourself with your phone or with anything else, you're saying to yourself, I don't care about myself. And when you say, I don't care about myself, maybe unconsciously, your heart will say back to you, okay, fine, then just feel whatever you feel and be there with yourself, and see how your own egoistic intelligence can actually guide you through this process of healing. It can't, because it's afraid, it's scared, your ego is scared, so it wants to solve problems through fear, so you get attached to the things you don't like only so you would stay in this state of scarcity. You know that material things can give you a sense of security, but nothing can give you such a sense of security as your love towards yourself, as your inner peace. When you're in peace, you trust, and when you trust, you open up, and when you open up, life works through you. And when life works through you, synchronicities happen. Not just little ones, like manifesting a parking lot or manifesting a coin on the floor. Big things start happening. You manifest a home that you were dreaming about. You manifest a job you were dreaming about. You manifest that dream person that appears in your life, almost seems like out of nowhere. Why? Because you've started trusting that there's intelligence that is making sure you get the best out of life. And you can only get the best out of life if you open up to the best. And to open up to the best, you need to observe your fears and slowly let go of them. And you don't let go of fears by saying, I'm letting go of fears. You replace your attention from what you're scared of into what you love to do more. And therefore, you don't avoid your fears. You just focus on what you truly love to do, what gives you a sense of intense joy. And even though you're still scared, you do it anyway, out of curiosity. You know that in this reality, in this life, everything that you're truly doing is you're experimenting with destiny. You're experimenting what happens if I actually if I actually do more of the things that I love to do. What happens? What's the change in my energy if I start doing more of the things that bring me this generous sense of joy? Like, what would happen if I actually go and talk with that person? What would happen if I actually call that company? I would love to work there. What would happen if I call them and ask them, hey, are you searching for another worker? You know, I'm a really passionate person. I can provide a lot of value to your company. I can help you scale your sales. I can give you so much. If only you will allow me to work for you. You know, when you give that attitude to whatever you're looking for, so many things will change in your life, because suddenly now you're bringing fire to wherever you come. And fire is this divine inspiration. You know, inspiration means in spirit, being in spirit. Inspired is being in spirit, walking in spirit. When somebody notices a person who walks in spirit, that person will respect you. Why? Because there's a unique energy to you. There's a unique energy that's felt, and people love that, because the world is lacking this kind of people. And sometimes we'll say, you know, I'm looking around and there's so much passionless people and so much of mean and unkind people. Well, don't look at them. Be that. Be what you want to see around you, because people just need inspiration. People need examples. Like, if you're not an example, don't expect others to be examples. We always copy one another, and you just need to be a bit better at it. You just need to be a bit wiser at it. So know that February for you will be a month filled with healing. It will be a month filled with kindness. It will be a month filled with progress. It will be a month filled with blessings. It will be a month for you filled with happiness, my friend. It will be a month for you filled with opportunity. Opportunity will come to you. Don't wait it, my friend. Don't wait it. It will appear. But do your job. Do your thing. Bring some enthusiasm into your life. Wake up and get yourself in order. Wake up and do what you know that you have to do. I know sometimes we wake up and we don't feel inspired, and we don't feel enthusiastic, and we don't feel motivated. But it's what we do in this kind of days. I've recognized for myself, if I make sure that I'm sleeping well, if my before bed routine is well in order, I will sleep much, much better. And then if the start of the day is also in order, I will have much greater days. So that's what I recognize. This is in my control. How or what I do before I go to bed, and what I do when I wake up. How I prepare my mind when I wake up. What kind of books I read when I wake up. How I'm meditating when I wake up. How I take care of my body when I wake up. Those are the things that are in my control. If I take care of that, my day will go much better. But still sometimes I have days when I don't feel motivated. But you know what I do? I just do my thing. I will decide, well, I have responsibilities. There's a community that need my message, and I go and I give you a message, and after that I feel recharged. After that I feel like I've done something great today. And every time I do it, I feel like I've overcome myself. So you need a sense of purpose in your life. You need a sense of a mission in your life. And that's healing, my friends. That's healing. Because we've been born pure. We've been born worthy. We've been born loving and kind beings. But then society has poisoned us, and it's time for you to find a cure within you. I hope this message can bring you a great value for the month of February. I'm wishing you a beautiful month. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Hey my friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's video. I want to remind you that we've just opened a fresh new store called AttractPassion.com, where you can find all of my work. Original paintings, you can find prints of all of my art in different sizes, so go there and check it out, AttractPassion.com. If you will use the code PASSION15, you will get 15 off onto your first order. So go there and check it out. And to anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm offering one-on-one coaching. We have some free spots once again. You can go and check out the link in the description of this video, where you can find everything there. So go and check it out. If you would like to do something with the inspiration that you feel right now, it will help you so much to transform your life. I want you to do something with it. If you feel inspired, you have to do something with it. So my friends, till next time, one love.